Numbers chapter 11. The people fell to grumbling over their hard life. God heard. When he heard, his anger fled. Then fire blazed up and burned the outer boundaries of the camp. The people cried out for help to Moses. Moses prayed to God and the fire died down. They named the place Taberah, blaze, because fire from God had blazed up against them. The riffraff among the people had a craving, and soon they had the people of Israel whining, "Why can't we have meat? We ate fish in Egypt and got it free, to say nothing of the cucumbers and melons, the leeks and onions and garlic. But nothing tastes good out here. All we get is manna, manna, manna." Manna was a seed-like substance with a shiny appearance like resin. The people went around collecting it and ground it between stones and pounded it into fine in a mortar. Then they boiled it in a pot and shaped it into cakes. It tasted like a delicacy cooked in olive oil. When the dew fell on the camp at night, the manna was right there with it. Moses heard the whining. All those families whining in front of their tents. God's anger blazed up. Moses saw that things were in a bad way. Moses said to God, "Why are you treating me this way? What did I ever do to you to deserve this? Did I conceive them? Was I their mother? So why dump the responsibility of this people on me? Why tell me to carry them around like a nursing mother, carrying them all the way to the land you promised to their ancestors? Where am I supposed to get meat for all these people who are whining to me? Give us meat, we want meat. I can't do this by myself, it's too much. All these people, if this is how you intend to treat me, do me a favour and kill me. I've seen enough, I've had enough, let me out of here." God said to Moses, "Gather together 70 men from among the leaders of Israel, men who you know to be respected and responsible. Take them to the tent of meeting. I'll meet you there. I'll come down and speak with you. I'll take some of the spirit that is on you and place it on them. They'll then be able to take some of the load of this people. You won't have to carry the whole thing alone. Tell the people, consecrate yourselves. Get ready for tomorrow when you're going to eat meat. You've been whining to God. We want meat, give us meat. We had a better life in Egypt. God has heard your whining and he's going to give you meat. You're going to eat meat. And it's not just for a day that you'll eat meat, and not for 2 days, or 5, or 10, or 20, but for a whole month. You're going to eat meat until it's coming out of your nostrils. You're going to be sick of meat, and you'll throw up at the mere mention of it. And here's why. Because you have rejected God, who is right here among you, whining to his face. Oh, why did we ever leave Egypt? I'll give them meat every day for a month. So where's it coming from? Even if all the flocks and herds were butchered, would that be enough? Even if all the fish in the sea were caught, would that be enough? God answered Moses, "So, do you think I can't take care of it? You'll see soon enough whether what I say happens for you or not." So Moses went out and told the people what God had said. He called together 70 of the leaders and had them stand around the tent. God came down in a cloud and spoke to Moses and took some of the spirit that was on him and put it on the 70 leaders. When the spirit rested on them, they prophesied, but they didn't continue. It was a one-time event. Meanwhile, 2 men, Eldad and Medad, had stayed in the camp. They were listed as leaders, but they didn't leave the camp to go to the tent. Still, the Spirit also rested on them, and they prophesied in the camp. A young man ran and told Moses, "Eldad and Medad are prophesying in the camp." Joshua, son of Nun, who had been Moses' right-hand man since his youth, said, "Moses, Master, stop them." But Moses said, "Are you jealous for me? Would that all God's people were prophets? Would that God would put his spirit on all of them?" Then Moses and the leaders of Israel went back to the camp. A wind set in motion by God swept quail in from the sea. They piled up in a depth of about 3 feet in the camp, and as far out as the day's walk in every direction. All that day and night into the next day, the people were out gathering the quail. Huge amounts of quail. Even the slowest person among them gathered at least 60 bushels. They spread them out over the camp for drying. But while they were still chewing the quail and had hardly swallowed the first bite, God's anger blazed out against the people. He hit them with a terrible plague. They ended up calling the place Kibroth Hattaavah, Graves-of-the-Craving. There they buried the people who craved meat. From Kibroth Hattaavah they marched on to Hazeroth. They remained at Hazeroth.